bet, let's go. Right? I'm getting excited. I'm like, we gonna be together this and the third, right? Hey y'all, what's up, what's good, what's poppin'? So today is gonna be a story time. I've always wanted to do a story time, but I've never known what to do because I feel like juicy things or entertaining and watchable things never really happen to me. But then I was going through Instagram because I was irritated and I was kind of just doing my own thing. Going through Instagram, I saw this one and I was like, yo, that is a great story time. Today, we're gonna be doing a story time about my ex. I got 2 exes, right? So this video will be on one ex. Thumbs up this video, subscribe, and let me know that you subscribed in the comments below. I will do a part 2 to this video telling you guys about the time that my ex-boyfriend's mother tried to send me to jail. So if you like me and you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. If you enjoy, hit the subscribe button. If you subscribe, let me know down below in the comments. And then if you hit that subscribe button, when it turns gray, hit that bell so you know every time I upload a new video. So yeah, let's get into this. We'll call him E. Me and him had been friends at my school in middle school. And this was right around the time where I first started dating. So I was like 12. So like this is around the time where I was dating not everybody, but I was just dating new people and I was kind of getting into it. Before, like when I was in 4th grade, and can you not lick my foot like that? When I was in 4th grade, I didn't really care. 4th grade and down, I didn't really care. Like kind of starting of 4th grade, but like really everything kicked off 5th grade. So like that's when I started dating. So I started like exploring different options, things like that. Fun fact, didn't lose my virginity until 18, but so me and dude, right? We were friends. We were cool. It was chill. It was nothing like, oh, let's like each other or anything like that. So that year, I ended up moving to Connecticut because my dad had a job offer for Frito-Lay, and they were like, hey, listen, we're gonna pay you extra money. We're gonna pay you to move out to Connecticut. We're also gonna pay for the relocation, and then we're also gonna pay like 3/4 of your house. So basically, and then we're also gonna pay for you guys to sit in a hotel for a month before you find a house. So basically, they just covered all this stuff and it just made my parents very intrigued, and it was more money. And at the time, we could use the more money, so we moved out to Connecticut. So me and him, I don't know how it happened, but I remember the month. I don't remember what year because I'm like brain farting right now, but it was January. We started becoming January 22nd. We started becoming really good friends in January. So we ended up liking each other, figuring out that we liked each other. And then we was like, all right, we about to date. Fast forward, this is January 24th. We had been dating for 2 days. He just stopped talking to me. Like, literally just stopped talking to me for like 4 days or something like that. I was spazzing. I was like, oh my God, what happened? Like, what's going on? Oh, sorry, Bo. I was like, what's going on? What did I do? I'm blowing up his phone. I'm like, oh my God, what's happening? But like, I'm also very closed off, and I hate my mom was like, I told you so. So like, I didn't say nothing to nobody. I was just kind of doing my own thing, right? He comes back 4 days later and basically apologizes for not talking to me for 4 days. So, I'm like, okay. He's explaining to me that it's because of the fact that he doesn't know if he can do long distance, and he's basically telling me what any dude would, dating somebody 12 hours away, especially being 14. Like, I couldn't even legally drive in the state that I was in. So there was literally no way I was gonna go out and fly by myself because my parents wouldn't let me fly. My parents still won't let me fly by myself, but I'm 19. So like, I can understand his concerns. So I was like, okay, that's fine. We don't have to date. We could just be friends. It's cool. Then we got to, I'd say 3-4 months later, he's like, oh, I want to be with you. We gonna date, this, that, and the third. I'm like, bet, let's go. I'm getting excited. I'm like, we gonna be together, this, that, and the third, right? So he continues to tell me the same thing. We're gonna be together when you come back to Michigan every time. Because I used to go back to Michigan a lot. I currently live in Michigan now, but like, I used to come back a lot because my family was still here. So I had my immediate family in Connecticut and then my extended family in Michigan. But but they were like basically my immediate family. They just weren't in the immediate. So we were really close with them, and we got closer after we left. Came back at least once or twice a year. So like, while it might not seem like a lot for parents to pick up a family of 4 and send them out to Michigan, we were driving sometimes, we were flying sometimes. It was expensive. So for us to be coming back once or twice a year was a lot. So fast forward, we hit October, right? He finally asked me out. October rolls around. Me and him are like, we talking, we cool, we like, all right, that October, I think it was the 6th. I don't know why I remember that, but it was October 6th. We ended up like dating. So he asked me to be his girlfriend. I was over the moon, okay? I was so freaking excited. I was like, that we about to kill this. We about to enjoy our relationship. This, that, and the third. We had all these plans because I was supposedly moving back to Michigan that next year, which I did end up doing. So we was like really thinking about all of this, right? So we talking, you know, he calling me his girlfriend. For one, the way he asked me to be his girlfriend was by texting it to me. So he texted it to me. He said, hey, I wanted to ask you last night, but something happened, this, that, and the third. Would you like to be my girlfriend? So I woke up to it. So at the time, it seemed super cute because it's like, wow, I woke up to somebody asking me to be their girlfriend, but it was over text. He didn't call me. He didn't FaceTime me. Mind you, our whole relationship was over the phone. So you would think that if somebody was like, you know, already know that you can't be in person with these things, you want to make them as special as possible, you would think he would FaceTime me. Nope, that didn't happen. So he texted me. At the time, I was like, wow, this is mad cute. Great. And then we ended up dating. You know, fast forward, we're enjoying it. About a month and a half in, he becomes different. So I'm like, okay, what? Like, why are you acting like this? Why are you acting like you don't want to be bothered with me? This, that, and the third. He would always crack jokes about his ex. And I'm just kind of like, I'm not an insecure female. Let me throw that out there. I'm not insecure. I don't have any issues with my confidence. I will tell you straight up, like, I'm a baddie, so don't try it, right? That's just who I am. Even if I'm joking, especially at that time, I was extremely cocky. Like, it has definitely come down as I've gotten older. But at the time, it was, okay, like, I was cocky, like, so much so that my family was like, girl, you are too cocky. You need to take it down a notch. I would ask him, babe, what's going on? Talk to me. Why you acting like this and that. Me still trying to buff up our relationship and be good, right? He goes, I'm fine. I don't even know what you're talking about. I'm like, you're acting different. Honestly, on God, it happened overnight. One night we were like, great, right? That next day, he was acting so different. I was like, did I say something the night before? Did I tick you off? Did you find something out? Mind you, I don't cheat. So I don't cheat. I don't think about cheating. That's not me. I don't like that. I wouldn't want to be cheated on. So I'm like, okay, so are we cool? He's like, we good. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, okay. Texting him, what you doing? Nothing. Okay. Well, since you didn't ask, I'm laying it. You know, like, I'd be like, oh, I'm doing this since you didn't ask, you know. And then I'd be like, you know, we have this mini conversation and I'd be like, okay, so what you gonna do tomorrow? And he'd be like, nothing. And I'd be like, why did you got school? You know, trying to joke around. And he'd be like, I know. And it'd be the driest conversations. I'd be like, what? Like, it would make me not want to text my boyfriend. But then I would put myself in a place where I would, like, you know, on Snapchat where you can take like a heart, or you can, not even a heart, but like any emoji and just make a ton of them and do words. I would literally do like my letter, his letter, and then in his favorite color was green, so I would do a green heart. So I was like, really getting into it, right? Trying to better the situation. I decided, you know what? I'm done with you. We ain't about to do this. I'm not about to, boy, I got other options. You know, I got other options in this state. I don't need to worry or think about those outside the state. Like, especially when they're easier access to me, right? So, you know, I ended up breaking up with him, being done, saying happy birthday, like I always do. His birthday was in November, so I say happy birthday to my exes about 2 years after we break up, almost every time. So fast forward, We get to December, I ended up dating the other guy. Like I said, if you guys want to know about part 2 of that guy, then thumbs up this video and let me know in the comments down below. But I ended up dating him. Me and him broke up in February. So March comes around. And dude, the one that I broke up with, like E, texts me. Hey, you know how you been? What's good? And I'm like, dudes don't just text you after you break up, especially when you break up with them and not want to be with you. I'm playing into it. I'm good, you know, I'm cool. I don't know how we got onto the topic, but I ended up telling him I was single. He was like, oh, I'm single too. Fast forward, we're in May. My dad graduates in May, but my dad this whole time had already been enrolled in this one school that he was doing online. So he just continued to do that. That school that he was enrolled in was in Michigan. We were still in Connecticut at this point. So May rolls around and he's like, my dad's like, okay, well, I'm about to graduate and I want everybody to be there. So we all picked up ourselves and we went. Me, my mom, my sister, my brother. Actually, I think my brother-in-law stayed here. Me, my mom, my sister, my little brother, and my dad all picked up and went. We flew. This was one of the first few times that we were flying back to Michigan because the flight was an hour and a half. Everything else, the drive was 12 hours. So we flew, right? I basically tell him, we've been talking this whole time. So from March to May, we still haven't dated, right? Also, I forgot to add, during that entire time that we have been talking from January to about the end of November, me and him we hadn't seen each other since 7th grade. So this is 10th grade. Oh my God. So we hadn't seen each other since 7th grade. We were talking at 10th grade. So we hadn't seen each other in a good amount of time, right? So May rolls around. We're going back for my dad's graduation. And he ends up telling me that, you know, he wants to see me, right? So when we was here, and we ended up going to my dad's graduation, this, that, and the third. It was cool. He told me that he wanted to see me. And I was like, oh, you want to see me now? His biggest thing when we were dating was that I found out later on that he was very insecure about the way he looked. He was a bigger dude. He had this condition, so he was just bigger. And I slipped up one day and said I don't like fat people. And he's not like fat, but he wasn't the slimmest. But I'm like, I like a decent sized dude. Funny enough now, my current boyfriend has a dad belly and I love it. I think it's so cute. Anyway, so we ended up hanging out. For one, it was hard because my parents really weren't on board with me seeing him. So it was just a matter of, and I also didn't have a car. So being in Michigan, I had a car in Connecticut, but we flew. So we only had one vehicle that we were all using and I wasn't legally allowed to drive it. So I had to have somebody drop me off at the movie theater. We get to the movie theater. I basically asked him, I was like, why were you so okay with seeing me now when before you had an issue, you were insecure? He was like, we're not together, you're not my girlfriend, I don't care what you think about me. And I'm like, okay, all right, shoot, say it then. We enjoyed the movie. We took a picture. We had fun. It was weird in the movie, but we ended up holding hands. We came out. He was like, his hands were around me. I was over the moon excited. I went to my dad's graduation after and took a picture. I was smiling so big. I put that picture up of us, like my family. My dad was so excited to be graduating. I was so proud of my dad, right? This was May. By that point, we had realized that we were going back to Michigan, just around that time. So we had moved back to Michigan July 12th or something like that. This was the first 2 weeks I was back in Michigan. I was living in a hotel. So I was like, oh, well, I'm at this hotel. Mind you, we were really close, in proximity. So I was in Troy. If you're in Michigan, I was in Troy. And I think he was I forgot where he was in, but I tell you, he was probably about not even 15 minutes from me. I was living in that hotel for 2 weeks because we didn't have our house that we were waiting on. So we had to make other precautions. So we was living in that hotel for 2 weeks. Not once did he come to see me. That was strike one, right? Two, I asked him. I was like, you know, we can go see this movie. We can go, right? We're gonna do this. We go do that. We go do this. Still nothing. By this point, he had asked me to be his girlfriend again. So I was, again, his girlfriend. Because look, of course I had to say yes, right? So I was his girlfriend. He wasn't seeing me, and it became a problem, right? So then I leave the hotel, and now we're trying to think of other ways, like to hang out, because now we are further apart, about 50 minutes away from each other. So we ended up deciding that we were gonna meet in the middle. Meeting in the middle was this movie theater on John R. I'm far from John R. So for me to even travel was like, okay, because I don't travel. I don't really leave. I didn't really leave where I was. I only went about 20 minutes outside of the town. So I was like, okay, cool. That day, I'm like, so have you left yet? Or are we still doing this? Something I had said. I was still at home. And he was like, so I can't go. And I was like, why? He was like, there's something in my car that won't allow it to move. And I said, what? Like, I'm the typical female when it comes out of cars. I don't pay attention to cars. I don't pay attention to engines. I don't pay attention to none of that. But even in that, he could not tell me exactly what was wrong with the car. He just said that there was something in the car that was stopping him from moving the car. He didn't say the battery died. That I would have understood. So clearly he was lying and he was being stupid about it. That was strike two. And I'm not the person to give 3 strikes. But I was so like, okay, no, it's fine. We just don't have to do something. We can plan something else. I was so hurt that day. Like, I was so just in my feelings. I sat in my chair in front of my window. I've got this big window in front of my bed. Like, the way it's kind of set up, it has to be like right in front of my bed. So I got this big window. I'm just looking out my window with my door open. My mom comes in and she's just like, you can't be with him. You're worth way more than this. I don't like him. I don't like how he's treating you. This isn't fair to you. This, that, and the third. I've never seen you have to go through anything like this. This is not okay. After that, mind you, we dated in January, we dated in October, and we dated again in, what was it? I think it was like May. I think we started dating the end of May. So we dated 3 times. We had been friends talking from January 2016 to May 2017. Or no, July 2017. We have been talking for a really long time. His family decided to go to Jamaica. Cool. He was already being weird. So his family decides to go to Jamaica. He told me that because they were in Jamaica, I wouldn't be able to text him. So at one point, I sent him this message and it didn't deliver. So I was like, okay, he probably in Jamaica, chilling. He told me that he was gonna be in Jamaica, I think for about 10 days. So I said, okay, cool, fine. Just informing me that he wouldn't be talking to me, right? So he was in Jamaica, that's cool. About 10 days goes by, my message still has yet to deliver. Or 7 days, I forgot how long he was there for. My message had still not delivered. So then I waited a little bit. I was like, okay, whatever. Still not delivering. So y'all know Fun Run. So Fun Run was that game at the point, right? And me and him used to play all the time. Look, it would be like a babe, you want to play Fun Run? And I'd be like, yeah, let's go. So at the time, like I said, messages wasn't going through. I checked Fun Run. I go on Fun Run, I was like, Fun Run will detect the last time you played. So last time he played the game, or last time he was even accidentally opened this app, it'll be able to tell. But if you open the app, or even accidentally to the point where Fun Run registered the fact that you opened this app, that means you have data and my message should have went through, right? I go on the app, it said, blah, 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 had been on it 4 hours ago. Some like really close time, right? So I'm like, what? I know he didn't block me. Fast forward, still no talk. I sent him another message, still not delivering, right? I said, I don't know what made me do it, but I got to a point where I was like hurt. I was in my feelings. So I was like, okay, say less. I go on my sister's phone, I type in his phone number, and I text him. And I said, hey, Some basically trying to catfish him off my sister's phone to say, hey, I thought you was cute and da 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 da. He texts back, who this? Almost immediately. I texted him back. I said, this is Jordan's sister, and I will be showing her this message. And like, I text back as my sister because I didn't want him to know. And I think I ended up texting him or something, some way, somehow on my phone, basically saying that it was me. I don't know if it was on Insta or if my message finally went through. I don't know. But then I was like, on my sister's phone, I was like, well, thanks for the information. Have a good day. And he was like, bye. And he was like, okay, bye. Like, he gave no freaking craps, right? Cool. We broke up. He just decided to not talk to me. Instead of breaking up with me like a man, he decided not to talk to me. For one, I did nothing wrong in this relationship, so you got problems. Second, I'm a very open and honest person. So if you felt as though you needed to break up with me, you should have just said something. But fine. Cool. On my birthday, he texted me happy birthday and then tried to start a conversation. My birthday's in February, so there was some time in between it. Tried it again. He tried it again in February. No, sis. No. I think at the time I was actually in a relationship, which was good, or I was talking to somebody, which was good, which really made me like, no. But like, that was by far the second worst relationship I've ever been in. And the whole process was so long and drawn out. When I'm in a relationship and then I end my relationship or he ends the relationship, I take everything that happened in that relationship that I feel like was bad and I make sure it does not happen again in my further relationships. Or the reason I broke up with them, I make sure that that same reason can't be repeated. Like, I'm that person who really does live and learn. After I live the situation, I take that situation and I learn from it so I can better myself. So never again, never a freaking again. So that was my story about my boyfriend my ex, who is, thank God, an ex. So if you guys enjoyed this video and you guys want to see a part 2, let me know in the comments down below. Hit that like button. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button if you liked me and you enjoyed this video. And if you subscribed, leave me a comment down below letting me know you did. All right, bye.